Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Core Strength. We are in the first week of Block 2 of the off-season program, and we're going to keep building our core strength today. So some of the exercises, I'm definitely stepping it up a notch today. So I will give you some variations that you can do if what I'm asking you to do right at the beginning feels a little too much of a jump for you. So 3 sets of 8. We have I think 13 exercises in each round, and we're just going to get to it. We're going to start with a pretty long warm up today, including some actual core exercises in addition to the dynamic warm up routine that we do before we get started. So go ahead. Let's start on your hands and knees, and we'll just start right here. Knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, nice flat back. And just starting. Let's arch your spine. Exhale, curving your spine. I always wake up so super stiff. So really important just to take your time to get moving in the morning. Do one more like this. Take your hands, put them in front of your shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale, come down into an extended child's pose, stretching through your back. Come on up. Inhale up. Exhale down. A little more of a stretch the second time. Up. Exhaling down. And let's come down so you're lying right on your belly. Your hands are even with your shoulders, head down, and we're going to start with some low cobras. Inhale up. And come down. Start really low. Definitely don't push this right at the beginning. Each time you come up, you can come up a little higher if that feels good for you. We'll do 2 more here. And last one. From here, pushing back into child's pose again. Stretch out your spine. Come on up so you're back on all fours. And we're going to do some balance cats. We did these in round 1 just as elbow to knee. Right now we're going to do them as like about 10-second holds. So extend your left leg out, get in your position, add your right arm. We'll sit here for 10 seconds. When I say switch, switch to the other side. We'll just do 3 on each side. And switch. Set up your leg first, adjust your hip, and raise your arm. Switch. 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 And switch. Okay, bring it down. One last child's pose here. And And let's get started. So we're going to start facing down today. We are going to start with mountain climbers. So first I'll show you what it is, and I'll show you the variations. With mountain climber, you're coming up in hand plank position. We're going to just go with one knee and coming straight in, a straight in mountain climber. So like that. So that's the base of the exercise. If you want to, as your option, you can go down on your knee and come in like that. You can add an arm and come in and out like that. So pick of those three. Go ahead and pick the variation you want. We'll start out with one side. I'll start out with my right knee here. Set up your starting position wherever it is. Nice solid base first. Flat plank. And come in for 8. Now the goal here is as you're bringing your knee in, your body is not moving with it. Okay, I'm going to keep them controlled. For 6, 7, and 8. Okay, take a rest in between. And we'll come up to the second side. 8 on this side. Six, 7, and for 8. Okay, next one will be micro push-ups. So for the micro push-ups, we're going to start back in that plank position, and it's a very small movement. So we're going to keep our elbows super tight to the body and just come down into a really small push-up. Variation here really is to do it on your knees instead of as a hand plank. So with this one now, it's a very small movement, right? Just a couple of inches. This is much more about the core than the arms, but you're going to get some tricep work in here. So you're just coming down a little and back up. Don't try to get down to the floor. It's not about that at all. For 5, 6, 7, and for 8. All right, let's take it over to the side. So we're going to do, the exercise here is modified side planks with leg lifts. So I will show you this, and I will show you the variations both up and down from here. So this is the modified side plank. You're bouncing on this knee. You're nice and tall here. Hand is not down, it's up to your side so you can be open. And you're coming up with the leg raise. That's the variation we're going to start with today. You can do the leg lifts that we were doing in the last block, right? So just your straight leg lifts right here. The next variation is to come up into the full plank, which is right here, and come up. This is a much harder exercise. If you feel like you're ready to do it, go ahead. So let's get going with the modified. We're going to set up with the modified side plank with leg raise. Set of 8 on this side. For 6, 7, and for 8. All right, switch sides. Take your time, set it up, body nice and tall. 8 on this side. And as with the regular leg raises, you want your toes to be facing forward. And for 8 on that side. Okay, next one. Going on the back. And we're going to head into bicycles. So this is alternating bicycles. We're going to do bicycles and then bicycles with rotation. Give these a try in the first round. But if you're feeling like they're too much, you can go and do single leg bicycles instead. So just do a set of single leg bicycles when you do the regular ones, and then switch to your other side when we add the rotation into it. But give it a try to do both. So head and shoulders can be up or they can both be down. And it's more of a stepper than a bicycle. So I want your feet flexed. As you come out, and it's a piston action, your legs as close to the ground as you can get them without your back coming off the ground. And that's for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next one, we're adding rotation. So now we're just coming across the body. So when my left knee is in, my right elbow is going to go to meet it. It doesn't have to touch, just directionally adding some rotation into this. So we'll come here. Be careful with your neck. You still want to keep it nice and neutral. You're not yanking your elbow to your knee. You're rotating your body, and that's what brings your elbow to your knee. For 7, and for 8. The last one of these variations are going to be the inverse crunches. So for this one, it's the same movement with your legs, but now your knees are going to be together. So for this one, some people find it helps to put their hands under the heels. It helps keep them down a little more. Also, again, the higher up your feet are, the less likely your back's going to come off the floor. So find your variation that works for you, and come out, feet together, bring them in and out. Take your time getting through. If you don't get in 8 reps, do what you can while maintaining your form. 6, 7, and for 8. Okay, staying on our backs, going into bridges. So the first bridge variation will be the one that we started with, that we had in the last block. So your 2-legged, just regular bridge. Feet and knees are hip distance apart. Straight line from your shoulders to your knees, or have a slightly arched spine here, pushing up more. But what you don't want is to be underneath it like that. So get your hips up nice and high, and then from here, slowly coming up and down for 8. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1. Okay, next one. This is called a marching bridge. So there are a couple different ways to do this. Both of them, you start out with your hips together. When I started doing marching bridges, I started them like this. So I was just raising my foot up here, leg up one at a time. You can also take it a little higher and bring up like this. So those are your 2 options. If you notice, I'm putting my hands right here on my hips. That's helping me. One, it's actually, I'm using my hands to support my hips to keep them up a little bit. And that makes sure that my hips are in the right position. And then if you feel like you're strong enough, it's still good to have them there, because then you notice if one side is dropping or the other. So you want to keep your hips nice and flat. I'm just going to start out with the kick version of this one. And take your time in between to make sure you're stabilized. So you don't want your hips to move up and down at all. Count this down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1. Okay, last bridge variation, last exercise in the first round. we're going to go into the wide bridge. So here I've got my heels on the edge of my mat, so they're wide. I'm going to pull up, push up here, and my toes are off the ground. From here, we're going to clamshell in. So keeping your feet where they are, bring your knees in and out. The hips stay up for all this. So you can go ahead and put those hands there underneath to help keep up your hips, and at least just to guide you. Make sure you know that your hips aren't dropping. 7, and that's your 8. All right, that is round 1. So go ahead, take your 30 seconds or so, grab a drink of water, and we'll come back facing down, back into mountain climbers to start with. All right, here we are, round 2. So we're starting with mountain climbers, or down on your knee, with bringing your knee in or the elbow to knee from the last round. Pick your one. Now that you know the full routine, you can adjust based on where you think that you'll challenge yourself, but it's still doable for you. And you can always do a different variation on different rounds. Just stick with me, make it through, okay? So starting out with the regular plank, whatever starting position you're going to be in, bring your knee in. Key though is whatever variation you pick, you want to do it as perfectly as you can. So I'm not shoving my butt in the air, not moving anything other than that knee as it's coming in. 7, and for 8. Okay, bring it down. We'll take these 10 or so second rests in between exercises. Let your body recover just a little bit. Okay, bring it up. Second side. Up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, next one is the micro push-up. So either setting up with a hand push-up on, or a hand plank on your knees, or regular hand plank on your feet. Very small movements, keeping your body totally stable, coming up and down just a couple inches. I find myself constantly adjusting because as much as I do, I spend far too much time looking down at a phone. So I feel like I'm developing some curve through my back. So I'm trying to keep working on, I guess I should just put down my phone. Okay, there's one more. And going over to the side, modified side plank with leg raises, or on your side, on the ground leg raises, or if you want, going into the full plank with leg raises. This is an exercise that I suspect we'll stick with through the next round. One of my favorite, because you're working so many different muscles through your core. 7, and for 8. Okay, switch over to the other side. And 8 on this side. Set yourself up. Nice and tall. Toes facing forward. Make sure you're not turning your foot as you come up. It's for 7 and for 8. All right, on your back, go into bicycles. So head and shoulders down, both of them up. Pick your variation. Piston your legs out. slow and controlled. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1. Take your 10-second pause. We'll add the rotation. And the rotation comes from your core, not trying to yank your elbow over. So neck is nice and stable. And 7, or 8. Okay, last one in this series will be the inverse crunches. So with these, again, if you notice your back coming off the floor, putting your hands under your hips is a really good variation. And as you come out, you're here. So that just raising your hips up a little makes it easier to keep your back flat on the floor. And you pick the variation that allows you to do it correctly, but still challenges you. And I think on this one, just about every variation will do the trick. And last one there. All right, already to the bridges. So we're starting out with the first bridge, which is the regular bridge with hip drops. So set yourself up, toes facing forward. If you want to have a ball or block or pillow between your knees to make sure you're holding position, go ahead and do that. And from here, dropping it down, set of 8. And last one here. Okay, going into the marching bridge next. So set it up. I'm going to do the raised knee version of it this time. Two more each side. For 8. All right, last one in the set. Wide bridge with clamshell. So my heels are towards the outside of my mat. Pushing up, feet off the ground. Sorry, feet off the ground. That would be interesting. Toes off the ground, heels pushing into the mat. Coming in, clamshelling in, holding the height, holding that bridge position as you do this. Working your abductors and adductors, muscles on the insides and outside of your upper legs. And for 7, and for 8. All right, we're already done with round 2. We only have one more round to go, and then we'll finish up with a stretch. So go grab a drink of water and meet me back in 30 seconds or so. All right, let's do it. Finish it up. Round 3, starting out with the mountain climbers. So pick your variation. You know the options now. Set up into the one that you want to do and get that position nice and tall. If you don't have the setup right, you're not going to be able to do the exercise right. So take your time to get into it. Now keeping your hips stable. Bring your knee in. 8. Down. Second side, 8 on this side. And 8 on that side. Okay, good. Take your rest. Next one is going to be in the tight arm micro push-ups. So set up on your feet or on your knees. Nice small movements, keeping the arms in tight to your side. Got your stability through the core. A little burn, or maybe a lot of burn in your triceps as you come down. Key is here though to keep the elbows in nice and tight as you come in and out. Up and down. The last 3, 2, and last 1. Okay, going over to the side. Modified side plank with leg raises or the variation that you choose. Bring it up. And here's your last one. All right, let's switch sides. Second side. For 7 and for 8. Okay, on your back. Bicycles. Regular bicycle first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and for 8. All right, take it down. 10-second break. Add the rotation. Elbow to knee now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and for 8. Okay, and the last one of these, the inverse crunches, knees together. Pick where you want your upper body, hands under your butt, hands at your side, hands behind your head on the floor. You decide where you want to go. For 7, and for 8. All right, let's hit the bridges. So starting out with the regular bridge, set yourself up, toes forward, knees and feet hip width apart. Drop it down nice and slow for 8. Okay, going to the marching bridge. So I'll take our pause here, then come up, set yourself up in that really perfect bridge before you do anything. Put my hands there, and then going in, making sure that the only movement is coming from your leg. Hips aren't moving, you're holding it up. This is one I know when I started doing it, I felt it was really difficult. And just with time, you build through the hip strength and glute strength. Core, so much going on here. One more each side. Okay, last exercise before we go to our plank challenge. So come on up for that wide bridge. Heels on the mat, toes out. Toes are pointed out to the side, like a 45-degree angle. Bring it in, the clamshell. For 7 and for 8. All right, let's just take a quick hug of our knees, rock it around, and we'll get set up for the plank. So today, we're on 35 seconds for your plank. So set up the variation that you want to do your planks in that you've been doing for the past few weeks. And we'll get ourselves going for 35 seconds, up in 3, 2, 1. If as these start getting longer, you need to come down, take a couple second break, come back up, go ahead. Just make sure you're doing a total of whatever time that there is. We're on to our final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job, everyone. And pull it back. Let's go into a nice, good child's pose from here. Nice stretched one. So your hands are out in front, really reaching out there. So you get a stretch through your back. Take your hands over to one side, hips to the opposite side. And switch sides. And back to the center. Okay, let's turn around. So you're from your back now. And give your knees a hug, just rock things around a little bit. Then we'll go into the hip stretches from here. So the warm-up and the cool down are just as important as the workout. I know people are tight with time and often skip these, but if you don't do okay, so I have one knee crossed over the other, I'm pulling them both in. If you don't take the time to do the warm-up, your main set isn't going to be as productive. And if you don't take your time to do the cool down, then you've lost an opportunity to stretch and do some good rehab on your body. I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more I need to just step back and try to take care of my body a little better, because if I do, it's still willing to give me a lot. But if I abuse it, it responds to me and decides to be injured, and then I'm off. And that's a bummer. Okay, switch sides, and I'm pulling in. Notice any differences between your hips on both sides. I knew based on my leg raises that my left hip was feeling tighter today. And definitely as I go into the stretch, I feel it there too. So you might want to give, if there's a side that's tighter, hold the stretch longer, come back, do it again. Just give that side a little more tension. So now going into the figure 4 stretch, my right ankle's crossed just below or above, my left knee. I'm pulling in my left leg towards me, so that pulls in my right foot, and then I'm pushing away on my right knee, really opening up through that stretch. Getting a good hip stretch. Let's switch sides. And uncross, hug your knees, drop them both over to one side. And if you want, you can use your hand to gently push down on the top knee. And let's switch sides. And bring it back to center. Give both knees one final hug, one rock around, and then extend everything out nice and tall. Bring your arms up over your head. Nice deep inhale. Release. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave you for today. Feel free, you're on the mat, take more time to do some stretching if you feel like your body needs it. I don't know, when I wake up in the mornings now, I call my first 10 or 15 minutes of my morning my no judgment zone, because I wake up so incredibly stiff. And, once I get moving around, I feel a ton better. So take the time, do the stretches, do what makes your body feel good, do the strength. That's what's going to keep you going in the long run. So that is it for today. I do want to remind you that I think it's really important to do these strength sessions twice a week. You can either do these same exercises, so the core ones twice a week, the full body twice a week, or if you want, you can do this block 2 variation once a week and go back and do block 1 once a week. That's also going to really work well too, but it's you have one harder workout each week and one more maintenance workout. So if you have any questions at all, as always, please just reach out to me. My goal is to make you stronger, and so I want to be able to do that any way I can. So enjoy the rest of your day. We're off to golf over here at our household. That's what Saturday mornings have turned into. So we will. I'll catch you later, and have a great day. Bye for now. Go Dream.